came in hot.
Came in too hot.
Came in too hot. Pull up. Oh man, it's all good because I had a whole audio thing I was going to talk about.
Well, we can still do it. We can still do it.
Yeah, because I feel like we're finally. It is 2022, almost the end, and we're at the stage where YouTube is finally starting to let people kind of use music, but not yet. 15 seconds, which is still less than the other socials, which is like 1 minute worth of music, but there's got to be a fair use. I mean, we're not making like music videos with that, and especially this time of year. We had Geek Commander last week, and we were talking about Christmas classic songs. You want to tag a lot of these videos with that song. We're trying to create a vibe here,
Jeff,
right?
how much of the song do you need? You need more than 15 seconds to make your funny short?
I feel like 15 seconds is 20 seconds. Maybe let's just move it up a little bit, 20 seconds. I feel like the guy sitting in the front seat with Ben Stiller in Something About Mary. No, not 15 seconds, 20-second abs. That's what I need.
What's up, Chuckles?
How are we, sir?
We got Charlie in the house.
Evening.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in for the Christmas show.
Yes, thank you for joining us for this very Cobra Christmas.
I'm feeling the spirit.
Yeah, because we're changing things around here a little bit. Things are changing on what we dictate is or is not a Christmas and or holiday movie. So everybody always leans on a little bit on Die Hard, but Mario had a very specific choice, and we're rolling with it. We're running with it.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Cobra is a Christmas movie, folks. Hot take. We just dropped it. The internet's about to break.
Yeah.
Because Cobra is a Christmas movie.
Or everybody's just going to turn their internet off.
Throw your routers out now.
This is the time. I mean, look, Stallone he's Christmas, man.
He's Santa.
Yeah. Has he ever done anything where he's a Santa? No, because he's just finally embracing roles that he's playing a little bit, leaning into his age a little bit.
Isn't he Santa in that one movie, the superhero movie?
Samaritan.
Oh, Samaritan.
Yes, Samaritan, which he could have been close to, but he's still in really good shape. He's still it's getting tougher to play Santa. He's going to have to do like the Bill Goldberg version of Santa.
What do you think? I mean, can you imagine him getting into a fight with like another 80-year-old dude?
Oh,
how would that go?
Well, it would be funny because he would roll their wheelchair down a really steep hill. Because he's still like in phenomenal shape. Like he really is. For Samaritan was good. It was not bad. I mean, it's probably not theatrical good, but it was definitely streaming good.
Well, Tulsa King is great. I don't know if you're watching that, but it's awesome. It's probably the best Stallone thing in a while.
My mom's was like, Mijo, you got to watch this.
Yeah.
Tulsa King.
It's from the guy who did Yellowstone.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah. Paramount just has they have a factory now with what's his name? Tyler Sheridan?
Yeah.
Just cranking him out. He knows exactly what your dad wants to watch.
And then she's like, Mijo, you got to watch Yellowstone. I was like, all right,
they try to explain it. There's like 4 or 5 Yellowstones. There's different time periods.
Yeah, I didn't know that there was 2
complicated.
spinoffs. That it had no idea, and they go by the year, so it just threw me off. I was like, "There's a Harrison Ford one.
That one's coming out, I think,
and there's a Tim McGraw one.
Yeah.
But
right.
I don't know. I always when I see Costner in that, I'm like, oh, is this the Postman? Like, is this finally getting some love again?
Yeah.
But no, I know he got into. He was big into westerns. And no, JJ, we have never seen Stallone and Santa in the same room. Maybe that is the movie. That is the movie pitch. But Stallone in the 80s, I mean, he was just box office gold. You put anything out, and he was in it. And now, it's hard to get anything with him in the theaters, but the stuff he makes is great.
Yeah.
Like Creed, he was so good in Creed. You forget, and if, we always pitch, the Video Archives podcast, and you just forget like how he got his start. Like he's like a legit great writer. Like he's an Oscar-winning writer, and like he's a thespian who just happened to find the weight room.
Well, he's a great writer because he's like, oh, do you want a job? You have to write the script in 24 hours. Well, he just wrote his own job, basically.
And he held on tight to it. You know, he very much did the, no, I'm going to act in this. He booked this for me. But I was trying to think of like pre-Rocky stuff. Obviously, the wrestling classic, right? That was pre-Rocky, Paradise Alley.
Paradise Alley.
Yeah, that was.
He did some porno.
Oh yeah, he did. Was that? I want to say like Going Bananas or something. But
I don't think that's what it was called. I think it was called The Italian Stallion. It was like a spin-off of Rocky. Like he starred in the porno knockoff of his own movie.
That's perfect. That finally somebody just did. That's the true crossover.
Yeah.
Like to star in your own knockoff.
Please be true.
It is. It's out there. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. And I feel like he did have.
He was in Death Race 2000.
Oh yes, Machine Gun Joe Vatiro.
That's right.
Yeah, he was very good in that one too. So, did you remember on stage when it was an Oscar speech and Muhammad Ali went up there, and then Muhammad Ali put his hands up, and then Stallone started like putting his hands up, and for one split second,
It's like, you want to go?
I felt like it was going to turn into a shoot.
Yeah.
Like legit, I was like, oh no. Because the wrestler in me is thinking, Muhammad Ali can't lose face. So he can't even have Stallone get one little jab and touch his face. So all he can really do is knock him out.
Yeah.
Like I was like, he would have, if Stallone and he was moving his hands and Ali was there, he was going really slow. And Ali has a very good relationship with pro wrestling. So I think he understands, how to work something. But I felt like Stallone wasn't necessarily working. He's like, come on, they used to call me Kid Salami. Let's go. And I was like, oh, no, don't do that because Muhammad Ali's going to have to knock you out.
And Muhammad Ali probably is aware of the fact that the movie character Apollo Creed is probably a little inspired by him.
Oh, absolutely.
So he's aware.
100%.
So yeah, he has no choice but to knock him out.
I think he said that too he was like, I'm the original Apollo Creed. Like he was up there. But for one split second, I thought we were going to get not in another universe. Stallone got knocked the F out by Muhammad Ali at the Oscars.
Yeah. The hit wouldn't even hurt either. It's like you're hit and then you're dead.
You got to protect your gimmick. He had to protect his gimmick. And Muhammad Ali, there's no chance you can be like, the greatest fighter in the world loses a slapboxing fight to Rocky Balboa. No, he's going to knock him out. You would have no choice. Protect your gimmick. Can you imagine? But no, instead we live in this universe where we had a streaker with David Niven. And then we had what was the last controversy? Oh no, we had the slap. We did have a slap. We did have the Chris Rock slap instead of the Stallone slap.
That still can't. Is it crazy that happened? It's crazy that happened.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. I forgot that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars and then won an Oscar after that. That's kind of a crazy thing. That's like that's one of those things. It's like what do you call it? Dimension jump thing?
Oh yeah. No, quantum jumping, right?
Yeah.
You can quantum tunnel to another dimension because Will Smith has a film coming out that looks like it's Oscar bait.
Oh yeah.
How do you not see him and not think of that slap?
Yeah.
And he comes off as the heel. Doesn't really matter. There's nothing you can do. He's definitely the heel in that situation, and that's going to affect the box office, right?
And the premise in that movie, sorry. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Well, the premise in that movie and the plot, it kind of doesn't help. It's kind of like an oxymoron going on there.
Yeah, exactly. And JJ pointed out a really good point that Will Smith played Muhammad Ali in this universe, so we've kind of come full circle. There was going to be an Ali that was going to be slapping somebody on the stage named Chris Rock, not Chris Rocky. Oh no! What? Rocky gets slapped by Muhammad Ali, and we get this version. I kind of wanted to see the other version.
That's scary. I'm scared now.
We've truly come full circle here.
Full circle.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, it's something I'm trying to keep the Cobra gimmick going.
It's not as easy. I don't know how Stallone does it and he's like shooting bad guys. He's he's doing the match the whole time.
He is. But we got a lot of Cobra content here on this very Cobra Christmas. We're going to get into the movie itself. Obviously, we're going to give you your platform on why Cobra is a Christmas movie and it's a canon film. We have we're going to show you how to eat pizza with scissors, which was a big gimmick in that film as well. We got 20 things you probably never knew about Cobra. And sticking with the Cobra theme, 15 things you never knew about Cobra Commander. Do it, Charlie, do it.
Cobra Commander secretly loves Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Except you, G.I.
Joe. I hope you get the snake.
Was there a G.I. Joe Christmas special?
There had to be.
There had to be, right?
Everything.
Starring The Rock.
It's tough because G.I. Joe was, everything was special, right? They were known as the after school special because they always gave you one to grow on,
Yeah.
right? And then do yourself a favor and find all those memes where they just re-edited the audio over there.
What the bloop are you doing?
Pork
Get
chop
the
sandwiches, GTFO.
Get the bloop out of here.
So here's the thing. Cobra, the film Cobra takes place at Christmas. Thus, by that logic, it is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I believe you because we have a crack group of researchers here at the Dose Incredibles Network, aka us, and I did a search like what makes a Christmas movie. So a film in which the Christmas holiday, the trappings and themes are integral to the telling of the story. Literally, this is done in a manner to evoke the Christmas spirit in the audience. So
Yeah.
shooting a film at Christmas that's showing Christmas, by that rationale, like, why would you just throw that in there? Why is it not March?
Yeah. Because it sort of heightens the tension. It's like, oh, this robber's going to shoot this lady at Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
Dare you.
So it ups the stakes quite a bit.
Black Friday. Let me get my TV.
And it's cold. Like,
Yeah.
Do you ever feel good when it's cold? Like, you can be warm, you can be at the beach, but that invokes you're on vacation. If you're cold, you want to go in. You don't want to get shot.
And supposedly, the theory of physics is that there's no such thing as cold, just absence of heat. So that's why I was like,
Is that how space works?
we don't have time for that today. We're not doing that one. I'm just saying, when you're cold, you put more on. When you're hot, you take it off.
That makes sense. Science is amazing.
Science is cool, kids. Science! So you want to go over a little bit of the premise of Cobra? I'm going to uncobra myself so I can read this stuff.
What is the premise
Yeah.
of Cobra? Let me just. This is what I recall. I just watched it 2 days ago. Stallone plays Marion Cobretti, a cop on the zombie squad of the LA police force. Zombie Squad is known for.
Oh, they were called Zombie Squad.
They were called Zombie Squad, known for their tactics. I guess they take out the biggest and baddest criminals. So when things are really hitting the fan, you call Cobra.
Yeah. Who had the perfect 80s look going. He had the jeans. He had the shoulder pads in there. He had the custom gun that had
Mirrored
Cobra on
aviator
it.
glasses.
Mirror aviated glasses right there. So he's actually technically listed as a tough on crime street cop. Must protect the only surviving witness to a strange, murderous cult with far-reaching plans. Which was strange in the end. They did great casting. Like the two of the main heels, especially, they are synonymous with being heels in the 80s, right?
I forgot the name of that guy, the main bad guy with the cool knife that they sell at the flea market. If you go to any flea market, you can get the Cobra knife.
That is actually, I'm going to put my glasses back on. That is Brian Thompson, who's known as the Night Breeder.
Yeah,
And,
Brian Thompson, that's his name.
So he had like a great look. He was also in the Terminator.
Oh, let me find a picture of him.
Terminator, Cobra, Three Amigos, Fright Night Part 2, Lionheart. So
Lionheart.
Nightwatch, yeah. He was after the shock, Head to Kill, Life Stinks, Dr. Mordred, The Naked Truth. And then you know him. He played a Klingon in
This
Star
guy.
Trek Generations. That's
I
him.
love it when he dresses up as the janitor with glasses.
Yes.
It's like I'm a janitor, but I read a lot.
I'm not a player. I just read a lot.
Yeah, this guy, he's good.
Yeah, he did a really good job. But he was kind of like Not, I don't think he was the Manson type because he, like Charlie, you were talking about earlier, had the axes. He was not afraid to also get his hands dirty. But it was like a cult of serial killers, right?
Yeah.
Like the worst of the worst.
It's a murder cult.
It is a murder
It's
cult.
an axe murder cult
Anybody
in Los
that-
Angeles that
yeah.
targets mostly supermodels.
Yeah. You're running around with more than one axe? I have questions.
Yeah.
You know, you just,
You see a guy with one axe, he's going to go chop something. But he's got two axes, you're just like, wait, this guy's up to something.
firefighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let me put these on. Try these again. All right, here we go. Cobra, the 86 action film, was directed by George Cosmatos, but written by Sly Stallone himself. So it was, he went to and he wrote something for himself.
So this is, do you know who this guy is?
No, I was just going to check that out.
So he directed a lot of movies. He directed a lot of Stallone movies. This is like Stallone's ghost director. This is the guy Stallone would book when he actually wanted to direct and he needed somebody in there to do the directing and he would just tell him how to direct it.
Oh, really?
Not that he wasn't super talented. He did like Tombstone, he did Rambo, he
yeah,
did a
he
lot of
did
stuff.
a lot
But this
going
was Stallone's guy that he would co-direct with, kind of.
Cool.
But he did Tombstone. Now his son does like horror movies. His son did Mandy.
Oh, really? That his son did Mandy. I
Yeah,
did not
that's
know
his
that.
son did Mandy. Yeah.
Because this guy's got some serious pedigree. London,
So this is
London
the-
Film School.
So this is the guy when like I said, he worked with Stallone a bunch of times, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Stallone liked him. When Tombstone was falling apart, Kurt Russell like called Stallone. He was like, damn it, Sly, this movie's falling apart. And Stallone was just
What
like,
do you mean?
yeah, exactly. So,
I wrote a masterpiece. You guys said it was in safe hands.
say you need to hire George P. Costatomos.
Sorry, that was so good. It kind
Get
of
it. At all costs. Get it.
And so like Stallone told Kurt Russell to hire this dude to help him get through Tombstone. Anyway.
Dude, so you think they were just buddies? Was this before or after Tango and Cash?
Oh no, this thing was before Tango
yeah.
and Cash.
Yeah, so that was before Tango and Cash. So they were already kind of buddies. But I guess Kurt Russell, I mean, he was in that upper echelon as well. So I can see them funny. Which Tango and Cash, man, I wish that was a Christmas movie. I love that movie.
Can it be? I mean, it could be.
We might find a way, but we're sticking to the.
You
gimmick.
can watch it at Christmas.
Yeah,
it could be. Like you could just throw it on, like on Christmas Eve, and be
Christmas,
like,
so good.
"Tango and Cash, Grandma,
Followed up.
let's
by
watch it."
Cobra.
Throw it on.
What does this have to do with Christmas? Nothing.
But
You should watch it because it's Christmas.
Let's talk a little bit about the co-star of this movie, Brigitte Nielsen.
What's up, Clucky? Brigitte Nielsen. Yeah.
Brigitte.
Brigitte Nielsen. So I think they hooked up during Rocky IV, right? And then he booked her in this role.
Yeah.
She had already had Red Sonja, right?
Yeah.
So she was already kind of over, but then she was
Did you know that movie is not widely regarded as a good movie?
really.
I had no. Someone pointed this out to me. Is what I thought it was good. It was kind of like Conan 1.5,
I had no. I don't remember having heat with it.
but apparently it's a really bad movie. I haven't seen it since 88. But
Yeah, I'd be curious if it holds. I'd be curious if it holds up. But obviously, they hooked up during. And there's a picture, Mario. If you find her, if you find Brigitte Nielsen on Wikipedia, there's a picture. And tell me this isn't 80s filmmaking. You have Stallone, Brigitte Nielsen, Ronald Reagan, and Nancy Reagan in the White House. Like, talk about that is like 80s. That just needs to be on a Coca-Cola can.
well, they were like super
With the
like,
polar bears.
The Stallone is like super Reagan-y, isn't he?
Probably, right? I mean, yeah, I'm sure he's that 80s. If you're Hogan, Stallone, Schwarzenegger, like all of them in there have to be 80s because they are synonymous with the 80s. Which, ironically, think about this. When we moved into the 90s, like Stallone didn't do that much, but this was one of his last pivots before time started changing. Because Rocky V, which is another one that's not well regarded, even though it's great. It is.
Sorry, I couldn't pull it up. Here it is. Yeah, here's Brigitte Nielsen.
Yeah, talk
Brigitte
about the
Nielsen,
80s.
Sylvester Stallone, Ronald Reagan, and Nancy Reagan.
I haven't gotten so sick since I saw that Ronald Reagan
Look
movie.
at it. Oh, well, look great. Oh, look.
Yeah, put that on a classic Coca-Cola can. That's what I want.
I can't believe I'm here. This guy. Reaganomics.
Yeah.
It's probably why, because Reaganomics.
It trickles. It trickles.
Trickles down.
Is that Danny DeVito in the back?
It better be.
Who is that?
That's Danny DeVito as George Shapiro in Men on the Moon.
Holy moly.
So here's another fun fact about Cobra, and we're going to get into more of these, but we're still sticking with the.
I agree, JJ. Rocky V is underrated.
It is great.
It gets too much heat.
It gets way too much heat.
What is the deal with Rocky V's good? It was it was different.
Is that the one with
I love.
Tommy
There's no boxing match.
Tommy the Machine Gun.
Tommy the Machine Gun.
There's a street fight.
There's a street fight. You get to see Rocky do street fighting. That was awesome. They should add Rocky as a character to Street Fighter 2, and he can do those moves where he like spins around and scoops up your ankle or whatever.
I like how you brought Van Damme back around.
Yeah.
But think about how, like, one of the most inspirational Rocky things, you have it ain't how hard you get hit, it's hard. That was from the next Rocky. But the one before that, when he was doing like a weird supercut and he got Burgess Meredith in there as Mickey, and he was just like, Mickey was a fever dream as he was getting knocked out. Now get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you.
Exactly.
Man, you watch that, and I'm ready to get up. I'm like,
And
that was directed.
Let's
go.
That was directed. Yeah. The whole thing. And they brought back the original director. John G. Avildsen did that one. Like, it was perfect. They had the rap Rocky score. It was perfect for the early 90s.
Oh, go for it, right?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Dad knocked his punk out. He took my room.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Used to do karate back then.
so
They would play
good.
that during the sparring sessions. Also, they had the Rocky tape, the Rocky 5 tape.
Yeah, that was so good.
Anyway, Rocky 5 gets too much heat. But
It does, but I think it was a time period in the 90s, so that's where when Cobra
Thank
hit-
you, JJ, for finally pointing that out.
I mean, admittedly, I haven't seen the Creeds. I will go and watch.
Creeds are great, man. I don't know. Creed 3 looks great, but I mean, I had no heat with the first one or the second one. The second one was Rocky 4 Part 2 in a way.
Yeah, I didn't love Part 2. Part 1's great. We'll see how Part 3 is.
Yeah, we'll see how it
If
goes.
Part 3 nails the trilogy, I'll give 2 another watch.
Yeah, and then I think it'll hold up. Before we jump into other stuff, I wanted to point this out. The film Cobra was loosely based on the novel Fair Game, which became a movie later on with one of the Baldwin boys.
Yeah, but remember, because he's in that one with Kathy Ireland.
Stephen Baldwin.
No, what was her name? Cindy Crawford.
Cindy Crawford.
And I don't know if that was like her film debut, but they definitely he Stalloned up the Cobra script as well, just to make sure it fit, because Fair Game is a completely different.
Now look, if you
movie.
watch Cobra, here's a hot take. If you watch it and you see Stallone's performance, he's got the shades on the whole time, he's got the matchstick, all that stuff like that. You can't help but wonder, is he doing this because he's hammered? Is the entire movie written around the fact that he's hammered? So it's like, okay, so he's hammered, so he's like, I gotta wear these aviator shades all the time.
It is that broken cop plot, very Lethal Weapon, like, what's happened? They don't really tell you what's happened. So.
Yeah, the lines feel a bit ad-libbed in points.
Alone at Christmas. I mean, that's
a big one,
Yeah.
right? We talked about that last week. Alone at Christmas is a big. But you're very, very well could be correct. I mean, the 80s had a lot of 80s extracurricular activities
you're right.
were bananas. They had to be like banana. I mean, although you had the 60s, they had their run, and the 70s did. But man, the 80s, they just did everything. I think that's where we got the term on steroids. Like everything was bigger because it was on steroids, and clearly.
Steroids is code for cocaine.
Sly clearly partake in that. Did he have any shirtless shots in this? I don't remember. If he
I
did.
can't remember if he had shirtless shots in this one. But
well, there's a love scene.
I'm pretty sure he wore. I'm pretty sure he wore a shirt the whole time.
He got in big into the 80s little bit one-liners before he, did something very Freddy Krueger-ish, like, I'll blow up this store. Go ahead. I don't shop here.
And before that, prior to that, he grabs a Coors off of the shelf and takes a swig before throwing it at the bad guy. That's his first. That's his first offense. Is he throws a beer at the bad guy?
Man, and that grocery store scene. Talk about product placement. They had everything, and everything was front and center.
Pepsi
and I remember
Doritos.
when I was watching the opening scene, that Pepsi machine that was gimmicked to look like you had the fake soda foam the whole time.
Yeah, when I watched that, the Pepsi soda thing.
Yeah.
I could not get over. I remember I thought about that for weeks and months and years.
I mean, they paid PepsiCo paid good money for that product placement.
Why do you keep saying Pepsi? Because I get paid every time I do. You're so smart. Why did you do it?
That's right.
Sorry, we just watched
No,
that.
it's a great show when you pull
Pepsi
up
versus
the
Coke.
accidental documentary Idiocracy.
It is a documentary.
It's all blended together in my mind. I can't even tell the difference.
It's an
Like,
actual
whoops, how did that happen?
But no, I'm sorry. The just quick segue. The Pepsi with the whole kid that tried to get the jet plane.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I don't know if you saw that one, but I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
It's really happening, man. We're trying to see who else was in it. Sergeant Gonzalez, right? That was, I feel like he was another.
Is that the garbage belly guy?
Yeah, garbage belly.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you know what I can go for? Some gummy bears.
Yeah.
Garbage belly.
Can get some imagery of him.
So here's a fun fact about
Who is like assigning partners at the cop meeting? It's like, Stallone, you're with the old guy with the golf hat that eats a lot.
So do you know who he went on? He became more famous later on for?
No.
Rennie Santoni from
Which-
Seinfeld. He was Poppy. Poppy peed on my couch.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, he was in some stuff. He was
Yeah,
around
he was
for a
born
while.
in New York City. He was definitely in that Law and Order school of film where a lot of those actors you saw rotated in. But R.I.P. He'd actually died in 2020.
Yeah.
So, but he was another. Yeah, that was one of my favorite.
He just likes to eat a lot for no particular reason.
I know, and he wasn't like. It's not like he was even overweight or anything.
And it's not like they point you like it's like, oh, I eat a lot because I hate my mother. It's like he just did it for nothing.
He just likes it.
Yeah.
I just like food.
Can you not eat gummy bears? Can you eat gummy bears and not think about that guy? I can't.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Well, not from now on. I didn't make that correlation, but dang it.
So Mario, before we gimmick over to something else, like give the pitch on why Cobra is a Christmas.
Well, I
movie.
did give the pitch on this
right?
initially. It's like, here's the thing. Cobra, the film Cobra, starring Sylvester Stallone, takes place over Christmas. Hence,
That's all.
it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing any there was no Christmas music or Christmas.
There's decorations everywhere.
There's decorations, right?
Yeah.
So I think just by that rationale, it's that time period and you got decorations.
I think he's even playing Christmas on his 53 DeSoto when he's driving up in one of the scenes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that car, man! That car is pretty.
Chuckles
to me,
knows the cars. So yeah.
That thing is... She knows.
There's famous
It's
Hollywood
absurd
cars.
to have that. If you're a cop known for getting into action shootouts, you probably don't want to have that car. Probably have like a Honda also that you would take
Nitrous.
that you would drive to the grocery store shootouts.
It's like a VA blowed out with the nitrous, and he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna get away from me."
But I like the pitch. Look, we're Die Hard. You get a break this year. We're gonna give you a break because I don't even think it's a debate anymore. Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Put it to the side. We're gonna do deep digging and find the movies that are also Christmas movies that may or may not be known. I feel like everybody knows Die Hard's a Christmas movie now. Does everybody know Cobra is a Christmas movie? They do now.
Yeah.
That's right. Because we have a lot of these action movies. It doesn't have to be a comedy. You're going to feel good.
Yeah.
But there's tons of action movies that are Christmas flicks, right?
Sprinkle some Christmassy on it, and then
Yeah.
you can call it Christmas.
That's what
movie.
we're going to do. Do you want to
Awesome.
you want to show one right now?
Do the Shane Black Emmy. Yeah, we could show one right now.
Yeah, let's show one right now. Look at this. Tell us if this is a Christmas movie or not.
Coal can be pressed into a diamond. You've seen the commercials. They take the heat and the metal and they smash it together. Next thing you know, it's sitting in a store selling for $1,000. That is Christmas. Money. Is there anything else? I'm Charles Cabretti from the East Coast. Well, I feel that Christmas is a Hallmark holiday. Yeah, it's right up there with Valentine's Day and, all those others that force you to buy things. Especially right now in the holidays. Everybody thinks that, oh, Christmas, no.
Do you believe in Santa Claus?
Do I believe in Santa Claus?
No way. How did you? Oh, no.
Remember, you had a chance. You brought this upon yourself. The rumors are true. I see you when you're sleeping. I know when you're awake. So you don't believe in Christmas? Well, you better believe in me. 'Cause I'm coming for you.
You're trying to kill me. I need your help.
Come on, big boy. Let's dance.
There's still no such thing as Christmas spirit. There's still no such thing as Christmas spirit.
I was laughing. I lost my match gimmick. So I think hands down that's a Christmas movie, right?
We should take a vote.
Yeah. Just vote for the audience. Like hit a 1 in the chat, like Chelsea says. A 1 in the chat if that's
Put
a
a 1
Christmas
in the chat
movie.
if that's a Christmas movie.
So yeah, that is our Christmas business, and I think that is going to be a perennial Christmas classic. That is the new.
You
Christmas
can watch
classic.
it every year.
You can
on
watch
YouTube.
It
I thought you were going to say
year.
it's a parental warning.
It could be that too. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of outtakes, and JJ, thank you to JJ out there.
Thank you, JJ, for
JJ.
coming out.
Well, yeah, thank you for
JJ.
knocking that out. And Wayne, you're going to be watching this later.
Mr.
Thank you
Wayne.
for checking it out. AJ, all the J's were there to help, in effect, to help us out. But there's a lot of outtakes. We filmed like what? It was an over
We
an
filmed
hour
for
of
like
footage,
three and a half months, and that is the Mario. Oh,
Chuckles was crying. He loved it so much. That's a shoot. It made him cry.
I didn't know what I was crying for. I really didn't. I was like, am I touched because it's Christmas, or like I was like, ah.
So we had the Santa gimmick in there, and you're crying, so you were touched over the holidays. So it's a Christmas. That is.
It's obviously a Christmas movie.
Yeah, we're going to
That's
slide
the
that in
sequel.
there. That's Christmas business. And think of the direction you can go with Christmas business. The backstory of Charles Cabretti. What happens after that?
Poor
I mean,
guy.
there's so much more. There's so many directions you can go. So maybe we'll revisit next year. Maybe we'll do a prequel. Maybe we need to plan it out James Cameron style, and we have like a 9-hour cut.
We can all wear blue. Some dreads. I'm in.
But yeah, so we just need to decide how we want to present this to the rest of the world. Now that it's out there, it's out. But yeah, it was hot.
Wait, no, you just actually showed that to everybody?
Yeah, that was it. Everybody was watching.
Everybody.
Anthony, what's up? Hopefully you just got to see the Christmas business, Christmas
If
classic.
not, rewind
Yeah,
about
just hit-
6 minutes.
Yeah, just 6 minutes and rewind that. But Charles, there's a great shot of you. Mario, I don't know if you have any of the stills. This one shot of him with the steam coming from
I
his
don't
head.
have the stills, but yeah.
That suit, bro. I mean, it was,
It was
perfect
hot.
timing. I mean,
This
that's
is the
perfect timing.
actual hat from Christmas business. This is the actual
You
hat.
didn't wash it, did you?
I dry clean washed it. Yeah, I just needed it. But yeah, the suit is still airing out. There was a lot. It was a sweaty night. I like that you got that suit. Like, oh, I'm gonna be wearing this at the Christmas party, and afterwards you're like, not
No,
so
you're
much.
Came in today late.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
The
you wanna do this?
intersection of this, like, sweat and like harsh chemicals from some foreign unknown country where they made the slaves were making the Santa suits.
And Mario, you being the directing, you have like some kind of headband gimmick on, very very Quint like. That was the first thing I ever thought working with Mario. I think we saw it. We were doing it was an Avengers type movie, and I remember you having the headband on. It's like, oh, that guy's like Quint. He's got the headband on. You don't usually have some kind of gimmick on your head.
Yeah. Well, I had my hair pulled back on
Oh,
that
you had
one.
it. Maybe that's
Yeah,
that
I
was
did.
why.
I did. Yeah, I got to get it out of the way.
My man was focused. He was like,
Well, I don't
I was
usually.
like,
I don't
"Mario,
usually.
Can I get a water? Hold on.
It was all taken care of.
Give me one more.
But that is bootstrapping on a budget.
Well, you guys were great. What was that? 5 minutes. There was like 70 minutes of footage. So whatever, and we did it. Y'all did everything 10
3 months of
times.
shooting.
And it's just like, and then like, I mean, like, you think, oh, you got 10 takes, you got to go with it. No, I just go straight to the last one, and that's the right one. When we stopped, I know that's the good one. So the editing was not that difficult.
He's a director, not a selector.
Last one's the best one. But yeah.
It was good though. It was
Thank
good,
you,
like you were saying. It felt really good to get out there in the field, like we've done before, and just get our film on. Man, I know when you're in the moment, it very much has that wrestling feel. Although it's different because what you're seeing is the edited cut. But like when you're performing live, that's where all the adrenaline is. So that night of the action, you're capturing that live adrenaline. And Charles, I think you were feeling it that night.
Y'all
for
were
sure.
both feeling it. I loved seeing all your wrestling stuff come out there. When you were selling some of the moves, I was like, he's selling it for a live audience right now. We're in an empty parking garage, and he's screaming at the top of his lungs.
I was channeling the Christmas spirit. So I just wanted to drop an elbow.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. I think that set the tone. They're just like, did he just drop an elbow on my back?
Yeah, that's in the outtakes. And y'all did it like 40 times. It didn't even make the cut.
3 months of shooting. Lots of acetaminophen or ibuprofen.
And I know we've all done like worked in film stuff before. And Charlie, I know you had a short that was very. So you were also in a suit. How would you compare that? And that was a while ago, right? How would you compare the experiences besides the physicalities? Now you can be Charlie Chan, the man who does his own stunts.
It was warm for real. Like that poly cot blend, whatever it was.
JJ over here, he got the best shot of the elbow. He's got to share that. We got to share that with us so we can post it, JJ.
Oh yeah, and
he's got
sent
the
it
best
to me,
yeah.
and for some reason my phone didn't show it up very clear.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we have to send it like
It's
in a
like
different-
iPhones and Samsungs. They always fight each other.
Yeah,
and try
it
to
was
send
a
each other
total fight,
videos,
and
yeah.
it was a little blurry. And I thought if we did it over the twits, it'd be okay. But maybe we got to try the Grams Messenger, some way to get that and have these two different ecosystems collaborate effectively to show that elbow, because it looked really good. And he threw some slow motion there. Was that the first time you've ever dropped an elbow?
No. No, you got those siblings, so you're like, no, come on.
I know it's
Paul
fun.
Driver, go get up.
You seem skilled at it.
It feels like
it was lots of, seriously watching WWE, WWF, Texas wrestling on Saturday or Sunday after 11, and there you are watching the Von Erichs or somebody. And like those guys they're hitting each other.
Yeah.
And then you got the other ones that were like, all right, I want you to hit them, but peel back a little bit. And then just
those guys very rarely peel back. I can tell you from experience.
Yeah.
Kevin hits really hard, and he's hitting really hard, and it's amazing to think he's not trying to hit hard.
Yeah.
And that's how hard he's hitting.
Right.
I was like, can you imagine if this guy was really trying to hit you? Like he would cave your skull in.
But wasn't Stallone in some of the movies in the Rockies? He was like, let's just do it. Let's go at each other and
Thunderlips.
You knock me out, I'll knock you out.
Lights out, meatball.
Oh, you're good.
But no, it was fun. It was fun to be taking some bumps, even though it wasn't in the ring. But I think it's just old habits. I was telling you guys earlier, back in training, they would teach you'd have to wrestle with a broom, like an inanimate object, and show how you're going to perform. And you're taking bumps for these brooms, right? And you're falling. There's no like people, we don't use there's 2 F words what we don't use here. One is because we don't want to get demonetized, and one, it's not the truth. When people say, is it F? And I'm like, no, well, this teeth is F, and, there's metal in people's bodies that are F. I don't even want to say the word. But, here, taking those bumps, like, how did your feet feel doing that in a parking garage after a little while?
Yeah.
Because you're like,
oh, man.
well, I'm really sore.
Not for real, though. I mean,
The street has no give.
Yeah.
Street has no give. Office floors have no give, right? So even just the act of simulated combat, you're going to feel like you were in an actual fist fight.
Millions of people every weekend throw their bodies around, after going out.
Yeah.
And they do it by accident. And it's like, these guys are actually doing it on purpose. And then you're like, what I was learned from you guys is, here comes the dance. And you're like, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's being in the right place at the right time. And Mario, you were feeling that too, right? Of capturing some of those shots. I mean, I used to the camera crew at a lot of these wrestling events, they're unsung heroes on some of the stuff that they have to capture. They have to find a way to be right there and out of the way at the same time.
Yeah.
And Mario, you got one shot where you're literally like on your back and you're just like sliding under. We needed like a mechanic board to just slide you under there.
Oh, that would be an
"Hold on,
awesome
do it
shot.
again.
Yeah,
I have an
to-
idea.
to
Let's
get
get one of those for next time. Well, because I'm filming myself, which I haven't done in a long time. Used to have Matty Hookset film a lot of stuff with us.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Matty Hookset couldn't make it this time, so I'm filming myself. So it's just a different vibe,
Yeah. And no, I mean, but it was fun. It was really fun to get out there and perform. Like you said, performing for the millions and the zero at the same time. Or nobody watching. But there's just something, and I told you guys this before, it's schools and office spaces at night. They really do, because there's so much energy during the day, and that residual energy kind of hangs out, so you feel the emptiness when something's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's built on like a horror movie, and we're oscillating a little bit here of just like, is this going to feel look more like an horror movie or an action movie? Is it going to be comedy because people are laughing? But Mario, you always put it best, like just present it as what it is and let it present itself, and it'll find its way.
And I'm like, what is my muse? What am I doing here? Would this be sad? Sorry.
Well, yeah, because also, at the end of the night, we were just like, oh no, we need to go pick up this shot and this shot. We need to grab this stuff. Let's keep going and grab all this. It's just kind of like, well, no, we got what we got.
Yo, shout out on the Thai food though.
We shot,
Like,
yeah.
that was
Yeah,
some
that Thai food
hotness.
was great.
That's what kept me going. I was like,
Yeah.
woo! Just ate a bunch of Thai food. Let's get these shots.
Yeah, and then we took bumps after that, which that was probably the biggest risk of the night.
It's like,
Thai food and then
Jeff's got
bumps.
me over his head, shaking me. Jeff, don't shake me too much, bro.
And shout out to Meg. What's up, Meg? She's just seen his walk the second day. Did it add a
Second
pimp?
day is always worse. Second day of soreness.
It was weird because the right leg.
The pimp limp. Yeah,
And
it'll
I
give
was
you a
like,
pimp limp.
Oh, well.
Because you really didn't it's hard to prepare for the shoot, like having the right shoes and finding the right pivot points. And Mario, whether you're talking about filming or like wrestling, it's all about reps. Like you can go on like a Stairmaster, you can do hit training and, to get your wind up. But in the end, the reps are going to be just doing it.
Absolutely.
Because you're slinging around human weight, which
Yeah.
doesn't always cooperate in the direction you want it to go. And you kind of have to muscle it. Like I kind of got like Wayne jumped in my arms like out of habit, right? And I was just like, and I just automatically pivot. And then I realized like, if I would have thought about, man, can I still get him up like that? I probably would have dropped him, right? But it's just like that muscle memory. As soon as he dove in my arms, like, oh, okay. And you probably felt the same thing too. Like when you went up,
I feel that every time I dive in.
Y'all did
I was like,
it was surprisingly
man.
easy for y'all to do that. When it happened, like the first time, I was like, "What?
bring it in, big
Can you
boy.
do it 3 more times? Okay, let's go again." But it seemed surprisingly easy. A lot of the stuff.
The right or the left? Where's the ever go to?
no, you went. It's all about, again, that is the dance, like just the cooperation of going in the right direction, and not fighting. Because obviously, in actual combat, you're going to go dead weight, and it's not going to look as good. The real fights do not look good compared to simulated combat. Real fights, just like you might get like one really like bowling shoe ugly punch, and you're like, oh, but like, and then it's more like turn away. Where that simulated combat, you're like, oh, right, and then you're going on like the roller coaster ride.
It's like I tell Mario, I was like, I watched all 3 John Wicks, and I was like, mad respect there. Down there, good. Dang. Like running and then stopping and shooting and running again.
Yeah. This definitely, obviously, this had a Cobra flavor. This had a John Wick flavor. This had a Violent Night flavor. And it had a Christmas Story flavor because it's a Christmas.
For Christmas.
But no, it really was enjoying it. Maybe next year we can do some wire action, because a lot of the simulated combat there where you can do some wire flips. Mm-hmm. Maybe we can get some wires in there.
I'll start buying wires.
There
Maybe
was
we have like Cat 5 and 6 cable there. We could just totally just string yourselves up.
Do you have any green wire? Because we're gonna have to edit that
Key it
out.
out. We can do blue
We're
wire.
gonna have to blue that wire just so we can key it out.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, it's funny, shout out to Wayne helped,
Wayne the pro wrestler, thank you for coming out.
He was in there too, and he was helping, but
And he's a great dancer.
we were walking around the building looking for what we called plunder, right? And plunder is just looking for gimmicks, looking for stuff that we can hit each other with that are going to have maximum impact as far as like noise and cinematic value. And we're walking around. I was like, here we are again, man. Like years later, we're walking a building looking for Blunder. But then at the end of the night, when we were like, should we go shoot one more scene? I caught in this corner of my eye, I caught that little bit of that cliff. And then that old me is like, I think I can jump off that. It was already late. There was a lot of Thai food in us. We were already like 6 hours in. And I'm like, should I offer to take a bump off there? And I'm like,
I got this.
because we're like, oh, maybe so. Save some of it for the sequel. Which I think there's a natural sequel in there, right? We had our Halloween flavor of that sit-up. Like, what happens after that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah.
It's a little bit of a cliffhanger.
Ready for the sequel.
Stick around, folks.
Yeah, did we have hashtag Christmas cliffhanger? Did we just like everyone's about a Christmas movie, but what about a Christmas cliffhanger where you're not going to see what happens until do not open until next Christmas?
Ooh, can we film in Italy or Switzerland?
Just make sure we're all dubbed.
Oui.
Just whatever we say. Just
Yes,
Oh,
dub the lines
subbed or
over.
dubbed?
C'est bon.
Dubbed, please. Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks. That was good stuff. So you guys want to take a break, and then we'll come back into some snack time for some Cobra Gimmick on how to cut pizza with scissors, which was a
How
big
to
part
eat
of that.
pizza with scissors.
Yes, that was a big part
I
of
think
that film.
cutting pizza with scissors is pretty
Yeah,
self-explanatory.
that's it.
We don't need to explain that. It's just using
How to
scissors.
eat it with the scissors.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right, be our.
Got a Christmas story to tell, and you really want to tell it well. Get it, don't forget it, on Kodak Film. You feel better when you say
Every picture tells a story. Capture the color of Christmas this year on fresh Kodak film.
I got it! I got it!
Kodak wishes you some merry, merry pictures.
Atari would like to thank you for taking us into your homes. We wish you all a happy holiday.
Hi, how are you again?
I have some last-minute gift problems.
Don't worry. Hickory Farms has over 100 gift packs. Gifts with mild cheddar cheese, smoky bar cheese. We are the super cheese market.
Yes, but
and Hickory Farms specialties like beef stick and sweet hot mustard.
Look, I'll just put myself in your hands.
Okay, let's see. It's 14 elves.
Mm-hmm.
How many reindeer?
Well, there's Dasher and Dancer and Prancer.
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas from your Kmart Christmas store. Save on sweaters and on hats, bowling balls and baseball bats.
Cameras, TVs, bikes and plants, goldfish, bath toys, slippers, pants.
Mirrors, dresses, perfume, socks, toasters, roasters, robes and clocks. Candy, records, films and toys at Santa Land for girls and boys. Christmas smiles light every face at Kmart's Christmas saving place.
Friday, a holiday tradition for 21 years.
I've killed it.
It's time once again for America's favorite Charlie Brown adventure. It's an Emmy Award-winning special. It's a Charlie Brown Christmas. Then he's back, the original cool guy. And this time he's gonna melt your heart. So chill out with Frosty the Snowman. Share the holiday spirit Friday on CBS.
If anybody loves trains, it's me, Johnny Cash. You know, if your boy's under 10 like mine is, he needs a big Lionel like this Black River Freight. Lionel also makes HO gauge trains for older kids, like this Burlington 181. But for smaller hands, the big Lionel is easier to handle and put on the track. This Christmas, get your boy a train that's built for the way young boys play. A big, rugged Lionel. Lionel, the big train for small hands.
Oh, enough already. Here it is, barely October, and the stores are already set up for Christmas. Wouldn't you say it's just a bit too soon?
It's hard to get in the spirit this early.
I would agree. I mean, we haven't even hit Halloween yet.
I don't mind it. Christmas is my favorite.
I don't like to see them quite so early.
Well, at first we try to explain it to them, then after a while we just agree with them.
What this merchandiser tries to explain is that there are some good reasons to set up Christmas displays this early. First of all, his department has been pricing thousands of ornaments and setting up the display since July. So to him, October really isn't early at all.
It also is a very important part of our business, so we do have it out so people can be aware of it first. People don't generally buy it the first time they look at it. Like any product, they need a little bit, I guess you could call it soaking time. They have to see it first and then decide to buy it later.
An area marketing expert adds there's even more to it than that. Christmas merchandise starts coming in May. Then it sits in a storeroom, taking up space. At the end of summer, when products like lawn chairs and grills are put away, there's finally room on the selling floor.
You could gamble on buying a bunch of more winter jackets and filling out that space and hoping it sells. Or you can take the Christmas stuff that you know is going to sell, and it's already there, and it's already sitting there and putting it out.
Well, then what about the other holidays still to go before Christmas?
Halloween and Thanksgiving don't generate that much as a season, and so you've got to fill that space.
So it's been decided. Christmas is here, and maybe the reasons are profit-oriented. But then, it's awfully pretty profit to look at. Kathy Beeson, News Center 13, Eau Claire.
Okay.
All right. We is back. I'm going to refresh my my matchstick gimmick for this next segment because we got to go full Cobra for this next very special Christmas edition of Snack Time.
Okay, sorry. I tried to sanitize the scissors.
I was gonna ask.
We'll make it work.
Is this tape?
Yes.
This is tape on my scissors.
So yeah, we can give this. Do not try this at home. Right?
Or do.
We
can't stop people from doing what they do at home. That's not our job. That's not our role as YouTube people.
That's right. We got to know our role, and we do know our role. So
yeah, what am I doing?
This is very special snack time. This is Cobra Marian, and his name is Marian, right?
Marian Cobretti.
Marian Cobretti. The way he eats pizza, which he eats while he's cleaning his gun. So I found this.
You should do this. It makes sense to me because you got the pizza oil that you can rub on your gun.
Lube up your gun.
Yeah, exactly.
With pizza oil.
And it smells delicious. It's like a biofuel.
It's like when you shoot a bad guy and it's like, is that pepperoni?
I don't feel so bad now.
So our friends over at 1900hotdog.com have the way Cobra eats pizza. There's exactly two categories of humans on this earth. Those who can recite most of the 1986 Sylvester Stallone film Cobra by heart, and those who only know it as the movie where Sly eats a piece of pizza with scissors. So, yeah, this is a little bit scary because the last thing you want to hear is scissors and just tip. Because that's just...
Thank you, folks. It'll be here all week. Can we see the clip? You can't actually show the clip, can you?
No, I don't think we can we?
We can't show Cobra clips. No, we'll get shut down. People show up here and fuck us in the ass.
Yeah.
Again.
So, but I'm going to try to recreate it on our close-up cam on the way that he eats. And Mario, you're going to have to keep me honest here.
You're going to have to do it on the main cam. The close-up cam has gone to sleep.
Oh, it went night-night. Okay. Well, I can think we can still do it.
Just a tip.
Yeah. So we are right here.
Ooh, nice.
Step one, hold it up.
Hold it closer to you.
Hold it closer.
There you go.
Get the meat closer to your face, Jeff, please.
I just had a summer school flashback when they were going through all the guys' pictures, and they have the one guy that always took the picture of the news. Square butter, circular English muffin, triangular bush. He's an artist. All right, but yeah, step one, we're right here, right? And then he...
Hold it closer to you.
Well,
there you go.
Right here?
Yeah.
Closer. Closer, please.
And then here we go.
Closer.
Boom.
It's like Silence of the Lambs.
I'm trying not to let it go fly. All right, so that's it.
What you want to do is discard the rest of the pizza. Because that's where all the carbs are.
Wait, so he eats the tip?
No, he eats that little part you cut off.
Oh, that's all he eats?
That's it.
So it's a pizza bite.
Exactly.
This is like pizza rolls.
What is happening?
The iconic pizza scissors scene comes just a few minutes in. We first meet Cabretti, the outwitting and an unstable hostage takes. It's the way of the new world. His strategy involves loudly and repeatedly telling the perpetrator that he's going to kill him and then killing him.
You want to get right? You want to get a good get the scissors deep in there, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to start like this with the edge of the scissors, like a Christmas gift. You want to go full boom, just in one action.
Damn.
And a good swipe.
That
was a deep cut.
That was a heavy thud.
What do you think was the inspiration for Stallone when he was writing this of like, you need to eat this? I need to cut the pizza with scissors.
Cocaine. It had to be. The entire movie. The movie is like written by cocaine.
So I saw this thing on Reddit that suggests that during the whole 80s era, like the whole Rocky thing, like he was driven with and he was doing that. And that's why he wrote and continued to, like, I gotta, it was like the Winchester Mansion. He's like, oh, I can't finish my masterpiece. I gotta do this. As I'm waving scissors across the screen. So sorry. And also, admittedly, I started eating my pizza before everything else. It was really good. But damn you, Reddit.
I mean, this is, in a way, though, Cobra is his unsung hero, right? Everybody knows Rocky. Everybody knows Rambo from the 80s. But this is his unsung baby that he wrote that I think has kind of found his... Right, Mario? Like, was this one of the first canon films, right? So it's pretty famous.
No, it's not one of the first. It's one of their bigger ones, though. They they were doing real small stuff, but then they got to deal with Warner Brothers, and they started cranking out some bigger films.
Yeah, and it was like $25 million, which was big money for back then.
Canon. And like those, speaking of the intros, like good looking out on the intro to your masterpiece, Mr. Mario DeMille. This is great. But the intro, like that, anytime you saw that C with the Canon logo, you're like, all right, it's going to be...
Yeah, you knew you were in for a ride.
I'm either going to see boobs or murder.
Hopefully both.
I'd buy that for $1.
All right, did you try when you ate your pizza? Did you scissor it? Did you scissor my pizza daddy ass? I don't know. I feel like we need to do it one more time.
Please.
All right, put it closer to you.
I don't like the best way to do it.
Can we get that? Zoom in.
Like that?
Yeah. No, wait. Hold it a little higher. Just a little higher.
Right there?
A little higher. Higher, please.
Right there. Higher with the pizza or higher with the cut?
Pizza.
Deeper with the scissors. Go deeper. There you go. Yeah.
So, right there?
Yeah.
So deep.
We can do this imagine this in slow motion.
This is going to get...
Oh my... Is that like...
Boom. And then just discard the rest of it.
There's going to be some ASMR in there. Like...
And then there. That's what you got. Baby pizza rolls from Marion Cabretti.
So
he also keeps his gun cleaning stuff in a pizza box, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah, like unconspicuous, like, you know, in plain sight stuff. No one's going to go, man, this is a very dirty man. He doesn't throw away his pizza boxes. And then all of a sudden he's pulling out a 12 gauge.
Is there something about 80s cop refrigerator where it's Cobra with the pizza or Frank Drebin with old Chinese food that's walking away?
Yeah, it's some kind of leftovers. You're not going to find like an old casserole in there.
The stories it tells. The story. I just want to hear about 80s refrigerators from Cops.
Yeah, they should do. What was that movie with Seth Rogen where he's a refrigerator food? They should do that, but in the 80s.
Oh, they're doing a sequel to that.
Oh, the
too.
hot dog one?
Hot dog party?
Sausage party.
Sausage party.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That one. Wow. Go Seth Rogen.
Sausage Party is getting a sequel. If you're keeping track at home.
That movie's already been made.
So I need to be clear, though, because there's just that part of me being a completist, whether it's shows or food I shouldn't be eating. I don't eat this part, but this is it. Pizza's done.
For real?
It's throwing me off.
Cobra doesn't eat that part.
Cobra doesn't eat that part.
You didn't eat it.
So it's just like, maybe it was the thing, it was half the calories. Do a pitch of Stallone pitching, cutting pizza with scissors, because it's only half the calories. All right, caught you off guard, but once you get that unmouthful.
Yeah, she caught me on guard. Because the pizza doesn't care. Excuse me. I got gluten. And that's why. I can't gluten. I don't know. I think you're right, but I think the bones in itself of a pizza are actually a separate thing. Like I eat the pizza and then I'll leave the bones and then I'll look at it and go like, "Hey, breadsticks," you know. And then it's like a reverse. It's like a reverse Olive Garden.
Wow. That is a good way. It's like what you call the discarded crust, I call breadsticks.
I call the beginning of dinner. So I'm just about to start eating.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, let's jump over. We're sticking with Cobra because it's a very Cobra Christmas. We are going to hit you now while we finished our pizza rolls with something that I can no longer find.
I think they're wedges.
They're mine.
Pizza wedges.
I'm really surprised that they didn't cut a deal with somebody in the 80s and
see
just
what you
sell
did
these
there.
as frozen.
Like supercuts.
Whatever, Dave Coulier. Cut it out.
Right.
Supercuts and Cobra team up to sell haircuts for pizzas.
Yeah. I mean, just like,
ooh, one clip. That's how you
one
get.
clip pizza.
Pull the hair up in one, and then sorry, that's all you got. That's you signed up for your $5 pizza.
You've heard of one pump chump. This is a one chip clip.
Oh my God, Jeffrey, you're trying to monetize. You can't say that.
The algorithm's like, is that the line? Is that the line?
All of a sudden, like videos of oil drilling just start showing up in everybody's stream. Let's go. Oh,
Everywhere I go, I see things remind me of her.
Shot on location.
What people don't know is we actually bought this pizza 2 days ago. And it's been sitting on the stove
That's why we're
ever since to create the authentic Marion Cobretti experience.
I think for our year-end review, we just got to do a supercut of all the weird stuff we've eaten and drank over the year on this show.
That's some pretty. It was good. It was some tasty stuff. I think the pumpkin spice cream thing was.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised we should have brought it in. I do have an eggnog one.
I polished my rims the other day with some of that. It was like.
I mean, nothing's gonna top the spoonful of Brock Lesnar powder that you ate. You ate it like it was Captain Crunch.
And they looked at it like it was like, I want some more.
Yeah.
There was like some Instagram, although it's delicious. I don't know if you finished your bottle, but I'm already on my third bottle. I'm not eating it straight though.
Yeah. If you buy a spoonful, you'll run out fast. I just sprinkle some on my eggs sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's all you
Get
need.
the Brock Lesnar eggs. Make my eggs mean.
I got some mean eggs. All right. That's awesome. All right. From 80skids.com, I found 20 things you probably never knew about the movie Cobra.
This should be good.
Stallone being one of the top action stars of the 80s after breaking through Rocky, establishing a second cinematic icon in Rambo, the muscular leading man introduced yet another big screen hero with Lieutenant Cobretti, LAPD officer in one-man army in 1986 Cobra.
Now look, let me just put this out here. The name Cobra for the title of the film feels a lot to me like the first idea somebody came up with.
That was it.
You know, it's like generally like, you know, when you're brainstorming, it's like the first idea comes up. It's like, what else what's the third and fourth idea? It's like somebody yelled out Cobra and they never got further than that. Right?
That might be it.
I mean, because Cobra's a solid idea. It's a solid start.
All I see is like Key and Peele is like, anybody, any other ideas? Nothing. We're going with Cobra.
We're going with the first one. Okay.
Cobra's a good start. You can go from Cobra. That's like a kid comes up with Cobra, like a little kid. What's your name? Cobra. So they started with Cobra, but like never got any notes. Nobody gave Stallone notes, so they just go from there.
Cobra Commander was in that reading. He was like, I think we should just call it Cobra. It just makes sense. Screw you, G.I. Joe.
What are you gonna call it, Destro?
Like they definitely came up with the title first, and then came up with Stallone's name afterwards. They wasn't like, I met there's a guy that works at my laundromat, and his name is Cobretti. Isn't that a hilarious name? We call him Cobra.
That's what I want to know. What came first, Cobra
We call him
or
Cobra.
the name Cobretti?
It's
also,
like, no.
I didn't plan on wearing a hat with the C on it.
You
I
totally
had no
did.
idea. No,
you were in the movie that we shot. You known since 2 weeks ago. But it's like Cobretti. We know that we have this guy that works in my laundromat. His name is Cobretti. We call him Cobra. Isn't that hilarious? And then someone came up with they didn't come up with the pitch based on that. They came up with Cobra first. And then they said, well, how do we make Cobra make sense? It doesn't make any sense. No. Well, Stallone's name is Cobretti. That's his last name. Have you ever known a Cobretti?
I was just going to actually Google
I know a Charles Cobretti. He's not a very nice man.
He doesn't believe in Christmas. Yeah, I mean, if you search it, that's all you get. Cobra. Is Cobra a horror film? What does Zombie Squad mean?
What does Zombie Squad mean?
Yeah.
That should be the next movie, Zombie Squad. And then that's how you find out how Cobra became Cobra. It's the prequel.
We need the prequel.
Man.
All right, sorry, I had the hiccups from that pizza square, pizza triangle.
You probably ate some of the back portion. I told you you're supposed to discard it.
You're supposed to throw it out, Jeff. Hey, what are you doing?
It's like getting the rind in a watermelon, Jeff. Stop it.
You're gonna grow pizza in your stomach if you eat that. All right. Jumping back, 20 things about Cobra that you may or may not know. And this one caught me right out of the gate watching it. Cobra personally kills a total of 41 people in this film. Now, granted, in Rambo, that happened a lot too, but he was a soldier at war.
That was common in the 80s, though. It was common to kill 30 to 50 people in a movie yourself.
You know what they call that now? A serial killer.
Is it a serial killer if you're just machine gunning people that kidnapped your daughter?
Yeah, I get it. 41 people is
I don't
a lot.
think that's what Jeffrey Dahmer did.
Too soon.
It was 41.
It was like 30 years ago. What are you talking about?
Yo, Jeffrey Dahmer, 41 confirmed kills.
It was just on Netflix.
Michigan State University. You know, whatever he went to.
Now, granted, he was battling somebody called the Night Slasher, which is a terrifying name. So, fire with fire, and that's what the 80s did, right? You're going to fight back. You're going to fight back hard. The 80s was very much the era of body count movies in action and horror movies. In some respects, Cobra is both. It actually got thrown into a horror movie bucket because of the serial killer cult and the high body count. Huh. So when he was released, Stallone wasn't quite the shoot-'em-up hero that we know today. Rocky obviously never shot anyone. In the original Rambo First Blood, the troubled hero is only responsible for one death, which is crazy.
And he just uses his tactical survival knife.
Yeah. But think about the last two Rambos. The one actually called John Rambo again, and then the one right before that. Man, he was blowing people away like left and
the
right.
The one that's like two Rambos ago, he was just shooting like a 50 cal at people just standing around.
Yeah, they were just like literally they would disappear like they would in real life. Like all of a sudden it's like mist. You're like, where'd he just go? That was the one where he went up the river, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was so brutally violent.
Yeah.
But those last two Rambos on point.
It was a weird turn because in Rambo 3, he kind of like found peace, didn't he, at the end?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
and then cut to him 20 years later, and he's a huger murderer.
Well, even with the 41 confirmed kills from Mario and Cabretti, Rambo First Blood Part 2, he actually notched up 75 kills. So it was still pretty high, but like in all his movies, Cobra has the second highest body count. Pretty crazy. And then that includes explosions, incinerations, and stabbings thrown in for good measure. Yeah, because he got that guy in the chest. And the guy had a bomb, and he didn't even bluff the bomb. He's like, it might be a bomb. We'll see. And he did the Warriors thing, the swan, like throw it in the knife in the chest. And then he checks the bomb. And it's just like, okay, maybe it was just gimmicked. But that was pretty ballsy.
Yeah, when Terminator, it's like what, they actually tell you the number of, like, oh, this guy that we're looking for, and they killed this number of cops in an actual, police station. And they tell you the body count, and then they start racking up the other body count of like, who he's going to have to take care of just to stay alive.
That's right. Well, with the 41, the overall movie had 52 kills, and 41 of those were Cobra. The other ones were from the handiwork of the villainous night slasher and his disciples. It's the way of the new world. All right, next one. I've heard this before, but I didn't know it was related. Stallone actually quit Beverly Hills Cop to make this movie instead.
Yeah, he didn't like the comedy aspects.
Oh, thank God.
He wanted to make it more Stallone.
Hashtag Stallone.
That's the Stallone.
Don't help it, Mario. He's already got like enough. No.
But that's pretty. So this is if you ever wondered what Beverly Hills Cop would have looked like as Stallone, just watch Cobra.
Along the aspects of the Beverly Hills Cop is this remake that is the South African or an African remake of it. It's on Netflix right now, and it's like the number 4 movie. And as soon as I started watching it, I was like, I don't know what the aspect is supposed to be about. And I'm like, he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt. He's tracking down the killer that killed his friend, and like doing all this. He's got the lieutenant that's on his ass. This feels like Beverly Hills Cop. And all of a sudden, it's like this movie that's like follows Beverly Hills Cop. They're doing it to us again.
I know. Hollywood
this next Cobra segment is brought to you by Pepsi.
There it is.
And Coors. Your choice.
Look at that product placement, because I see an RC can in there, which Pepsi has been pissed. And what is that one below? That's a Diet Sprite with an old
Diet Right.
Diet Right.
Ooh, Diet Right. Yeah. Yikes.
He did crack open that Coors can before he did it, but yeah, that's the scene. That pouring Pepsi can always
that
stuck
display
in my
is
head.
dope, though. That's the one where you're like, how are they getting the pour?
Yeah, it's like it never stops.
It's a pump. Totally a pump.
It's like legitimately like Oscar the Grouch's can, where you don't know how deep it goes. The Pepsi's just going and going and going.
Keep pouring it in. I want my jet plane.
That's right. So yeah, I thought it was interesting. He didn't like the comedy aspect. And I feel like Beverly Hills Cop obviously did have comedy, because that was like, but 48 Hours was a little bit more violent than Beverly Hills Cop. But I mean, you had the getting thrown out the window, disturbing the peace. I was thrown out a window. What happens when you get thrown out of a car? Jaywalking. So it became clear early that Stallone had a very different vision for the film that producers Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer didn't have. Can you imagine Bruckheimer's like, that's too much.
Yeah.
You found the line for Bruckheimer? That's too much.
I'll tell you what, here's how I'll do it. You throw in some explosions, all right, and I might be about it. That's Bruckheimer going like, I don't see enough explosions. I'm out.
Well, it had a pretty decent, Cobra definitely had a decent amount of explosions in there too. Like he was just chucking grenades like water balloons.
Well, apparently the final film is just a mishmash of all kinds of crap. Apparently it was a huge, sprawling, epic, LA cult axe gang versus supermodels kind of film. And it all got shot. Because if you notice, there's a bunch of montages in it. Stallone's known for montages, but there's just like, It's just like something happens, and here's
Work it to the limit.
here's a montage of
Get it till you're
Stallone and Garcia are just talking to hookers in a montage. Hey, you seen this guy? 2 axes? He's got 2 axes.
If Mario booked a movie called Supermodels versus Serial Killers, I'd go on night 1. I was like, that's the title of the movie. Like in 2022, if you make that movie, I'm going, man.
I did zombie cheerleaders. I mean, come on, that one's got a way better title.
All right, next fact. This was Stallone's first collaboration with Canon Films, which I did not know. Again, I knew there was some. It was a first for something. Cobra was distributed by Warner Brothers. It was produced by Golan Globus. Remember the owners of Canon Films, and they were trying to.
Brothers.
Yeah, they were trying to get bigger because they were known for the low budget B pictures, and their ambitions were way beyond that.
Do you know what his other collaboration with Canon Films was?
No.
It's a little classic film about child custody and arm wrestling.
Winner takes it all. Loser takes the ball.
My arm, Dad. That's why that kid didn't want to hang out with his dad. He was like, I'm gonna be a wrestler.
Yeah, that was actually directed by Golan.
Did not
He
know that
actually
one.
was.
He directed it himself.
he directed it.
Nice little nugget there.
You had Meet Me Halfway Across the Sky
Across
in
the
there too,
sky.
right? Did you also know that they did Superman 4: The Quest for Peace?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 80s films and there's late 80s films, and you just named it with Superman 4 and Over the Top. So good. Yeah, didn't he have like a Bowflex in his truck? Because I feel like that was the first introduction to like Bowflex. Yeah, like he's like, yeah, I make this money from product placement. It's like, we got these Bowflex money. Where can you put it? Just put it in the truck.
I don't even have to get up from my seat. I just do this while I'm driving. Just punch people.
I want my son back.
Just sit there and arm wrestle on the right side.
Oh, that was great. All right, I don't know what kind of facts this was. This is Stallone's elevator pitch, one line for Cobra. What if Bruce Springsteen had a gun?
I love it.
That's his pitch in the 80s. I'd be very concerned if Bruce Springsteen had a gun. But in devising his streetwise take no prisoners cop, Stallone had perhaps a surprising role model in mind. Bruce Springsteen in the mid-'80s, the denim-clad New Jersey rocker was one of the biggest stars in the world, and it was in part the basis of Cobra's persona.
I think Stallone misunderstood those songs.
I don't think he got
the basis.
I don't think he understood. You know how they're like, he understood the assignment? I don't think he understood the assignment.
Born to run, you better run from my 45 with a Cobra on it.
Now we need to make a supercut of people running from Cobra to Born to Run. Sorry. So YouTube might demonetize us, but that might be worth it.
Dang it.
The best thing about Cobra is his gun has a Cobra on it. In case you didn't know that he's known as Cobra, you can look at his gun.
Right. This man has no ID. Well, just look at his gun. It's Cobra.
It's Marion Cobretti.
We'll get another one.
One of the other, we just talked about it. It remains one of the greatest mysteries of cinema as to why Cobra cuts cold pizza with scissors and eats it while still wearing his gloves. Is that what rock stars do? Seriously, we don't know.
Because he didn't want the whole thing.
Yeah. I think it was a cob cutting exercise.
I mean, maybe he's frugal, man.
And everybody knows pizza goes bad from the edge in to the center.
Maybe we need to have like a Bill Nye Science Guy segment. It's just like, is that how pizza starts to degrade itself?
Yes.
Maybe.
From the crust in.
Maybe he knew
from
something
crust to
we didn't.
toppings.
Hey, man, cops are experts at leftovers.
He's on the Zombie Squad.
Yeah, which is the next fact. Zombie Squad was inspired by a real police unit in Belgium. His partner, Cabretti, and his partner Gonzalez worked in the LAPD Zombie Squad, meaning they take the dirty jobs that most regular cops would rather leave alone. As we learn early on, the general Zombie Squad tactic is to shoot to kill with no mercy, and that's about it. You couldn't do that now, right? This is where the law stops and I start. That's the Zombie Squad credo. While there's no official Zombie Squad in LAPD, Stallone claims to have taken inspiration from a real police unit in Belgium, which I did not know that they were known for.
Yeah, they're always all the grocery stores in Belgium are super dangerous. They're always under attack. All the supermodels, they're always got to be guarded because 2X gangs are trying to get them.
And they only have Coors.
Why? Because it's the way of the new world. I'm going to just keep saying it. I must have said that all day, no one for this show. It's the way of the new world. But supposedly the squad would go out at night and take down the worst of the worst in Belgium, which I want to see that movie too.
Such a bad rap. I mean, don't they have like good chocolates and, just chocolates?
But the chocolate thieves, though.
Is it a freaking bunch of Oompa Loompas getting takedowns like you're stealing the chocolate?
Belgium chocolates.
Augustus,
Get out.
save some room for later. Boom!
Augustus, do not approve these things you do. It's too bad, mother. Oh, there it is. We'll do that. There's this.
I think for every fun fact about
Augustus
Cobra, we
is
find a
his
pitch for a
cousin.
movie.
A minute. Augustus Goofes.
Augustus Gloop. All right, next up, Cobra was named after John Wayne, or rather John Wayne's real name. So I think we weren't going to get
John
the Cobra.
Wayne's real name is Cobra?
So Stallone originally came up with the character's surname when he was attached to Beverly Hills Cop. He rewrote the script, changed the hero's name from Ellie Axel to Axel Cabretti. With Eddie Murphy in the role, he would finally be renamed Axel Foley. When Stallone moved to most of his abandoned Beverly Hills Cop material to Cobra, the surname came too, but he had other ideas for the character's name. Envisioning Cobra as something of a modern-day cowboy, Stallone named it after the most iconic big-screen cowboy, John Wayne. While Wayne is a famous macho star, the name he was born with was not so conventionally manly. His real name is Marion Mitchell Morrison. So that's where he got John Wayne's name.
So John Wayne's name is Marion Mitchell Morrison.
Mm-hmm.
And he would have been like, give it to me. He'd be like, I tell you, Pilgrim, you're not going to be falling for the banana in the tailpipe. No, man. You got to do a little looser. Say, man, I'm not going to be falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Oh, man. I don't... The John Wayne thing that really holds up is when he throws that kid in the water who doesn't know how to swim. And he's just trying to figure out if that's still real or not. It's like, you can't swim. Really? And he just throws him in the water.
It's kind of like what you picked me up over your head. I was like, oh, my God, he's going to throw me in a body of water right now.
Oh, that you can't swim. Oh, man. All right, next fact. To no surprise, Dirty Harry was also a huge influence on Stallone's vision. I think he's pretty much... Dirty Harry's the 70s. I think Cobra is the 80s version of Dirty Harry, without a shadow of a doubt.
But there was also Dirty Harry in the 80s, so there was no need for Cobra. But
Sudden Impact was actually 80s, right? And then Deadpool was 88, so that falls into that late 80s. But I think the Go Ahead Make My Day was the original, right? Dirty Harry. No, that was a later one. The original was it 6 bullets, only 5.
Yeah,
hey,
that's
I gots to know.
The Enforcer.
So yeah, Enforcer.
The Enforcer.
Yep, that was 76.
You gotta ask yourself, punk.
So yeah, it didn't really like. You might be right. There was no need to. Stallone was worried Brian Thompson was too nice to play the Night Slasher. I don't think that's true. But Mario, I think you know this. You know, Brian Thompson was in a very famous movie with another 80s action star playing a thug, or actually, he was playing a punk. Can you guess?
One? No,
can you guess that movie?
Which one?
I'm going to give you one hint, and I think that's where you get it. He played a punk alongside another young punk named Bill Paxton.
Oh, Terminator.
That's right. Give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. So he was actually the main punk, and Bill
Wash
Paxton,
day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nothing clean, right?
Right. Wash day tomorrow. Nothing clean. Your clothes. Give them to me now.
I forgot about his face because ever since I saw that Control-Alt face swap of that one,
That's
where
so
it's
good.
like Brad Pitt and Arnold Schwarzenegger, I can't.
Jim
My brain
Carrey.
will not accept
Yeah.
the other version anymore.
That's really good.
So now I just remember it as Jim Carrey, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Brad Pitt.
Oh, that's right. That scary face.
Yeah, they ruined it.
Yeah, that was uncanny. Ironically, it was uncanny.
And it's Stallone as the Terminator. Like, he's walking up to him. And I was like, wait a minute.
It plays with your brains. Yeah. In an earlier script, Andrew Robinson's Monty was revealed as the real villain. So, ironically, Andrew Robinson, he actually was the main bad guy in Dirty Harry, and that's how I always saw him. So I think I always assumed he was going to be the heel in it. And originally, in the original script, he was. He was the Detective Monty that was basically always busting Cobra's balls. You know, just like, I don't agree with this. And remember when he came on
Cobra, I don't agree with your tactics, but you get the job done. But I hate it. The taxpayers are on my ass.
I like how in the movie he went, I just want you to know I didn't want you to be here. Anyway, here's what he's like.
Here's $5 million.
Yeah.
Go destroy the city.
Yeah, so in the original cult, it was revealed Monty was the brains behind the terrifying night slasher cult. Which I think I would have liked.
Yeah, that would have been great.
I think
it's probably in there. Like that movie got cut to ribbons. Like they re-edited it into the shortest possible action-packed thing they could have made.
Yeah,
because they spent some money on that movie. You can tell.
Yeah, I hope they. Well, I'm guessing like maybe they probably made their money back in VHS, right? Because that was the prime when making money at home started. Like, oh wow. Out of theaters, we can still make money on this stuff. I feel like they probably did make their money back, but they're not going to say anything.
Or they're the reason that Blockbuster died.
Yeah.
It wasn't Netflix. It was Blockbuster.
There's an interesting
Cobra.
documentary
How dare you?
that talks about how it wasn't Netflix, but we all know we know the truth.
We know because you didn't rewind.
All right, you guys want to go through some more? We got 10. I'm going to breeze through some of these.
Through them.
Brian Thompson didn't have a great time making the film, which I find hard to believe because it was supermodels and bombs and guns.
And Stallone had endless amounts of cocaine.
Yeah, so, yeah, maybe he wasn't partaking in that. The 1950 Mercury was Stallone's actual car at the time. Charlie, we were talking about that earlier. That had the plates Awesome 50. I don't think those were his actual plates, but yeah, that was actually his car. The
Awesome 50 was that why 50?
Yeah, I don't know. Because it was the 1950.
That's when Cobra takes place.
No, that was the 50. The model car, the Mercury. All right, let's see. Some of these facts are not really facts. The props team built a surprisingly large version of Brian Thompson's knife for certain shots. I don't think that's surprising. Stallone was in full Hollywood diva mode on set. # cocaine. Many violent scenes were cut to avoid the X rating. That, again, is probably not a surprise. Because, 41 people went down in that movie.
Yeah.
More last minute.
It seems difficult to get an X though for just shooting cult members.
Wasn't there a rapey scene like when they first took that woman and put her in the van and stuff? It was pretty shit.
Yeah, they stopped those types of scenes in the early 80s, late 70s. No, you can't. Yeah. I knew that. I read this earlier. More last-minute changes were made to the film because of Top Gun. So it was actually competing with Top Gun and lost to Top Gun.
They had to edit out the dogfight.
Yeah.
Cobretti gets actually a LAPD plane to take out the
He
Colt.
couldn't do the Cobra. He was like, it's copyrighted. You can't do that Cobra scene.
They had shots of him in the cockpit with the matchstick flying that jet.
Cobretti, I don't approve of you taking us our F-15, but damn it, you get the job done.
How dare you?
Have a report on my desk by Monday.
Mario, you already predicted this one. Stallone was apparently...
What's up, Mike B?
Mike B. Stallone was apparently the true director of the film, not George Cosmastos.
Told you, as I said. That's his ghost director.
They edited out the volleyball game. No.
Mike B, did you see the movie? Or are you going to have to backtrack? Should we just play it again for Mike B?
Yeah, do you want to play it for again?
Mike, are you on?
Mike's
He's on. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
No, it's all good. Yeah, it was a smash with audiences, but a flop with critics. We kind of knew that because it's still a smash. Stallone blames the lack of sequels on his divorce from Bridget Nielsen. If I would have made more sequels, I wouldn't have got a divorce. 2 more. Remake was released just 9 years later, and we talked about earlier that was fair game. Was it, though? And the number one fact, a small screen reboot may be in the pipeline. That's the surprise. You heard it here first. We broke the news. We may get a small screen reboot series, Cobra. Stallone recently revealed that he's trying to bring it back as a streaming TV series. And I think after, what's the name of the show, Mario, that you're watching?
Tulsa King.
I think Prime's going to be totally fine with... No, that's Paramount, right?
That's Paramount.
I think either Paramount or Prime are going to be totally fine with giving Stallone some cash to make a small screen Cobra reboot. I don't know what it would be. Would it be a sequel boot?
I don't know that Stallone could still do that much cocaine. I think that would be difficult for him to match that.
Oh, and I don't know if this is still just like
Stallone, if you're listening right now.
He is.
He definitely
just
is.
tag him in. We're cool. He likes to joke about it.
If you go through the line doing vegan cocaine, maybe it's organic. Okay, explaining to the line 56 on that Google sheet. Yeah, don't worry, it's vegan and it's organic. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It doesn't give you gas.
It's vegan. It's like wet, sticky cocaine.
For a while, Robert Rodriguez was the one attached to make the small screen Cobra and wanted to do it on El Rey. So I don't know if that's obviously not even...
Is there enough Cobra material for a series? I mean...
They did it with the Equalizer. I mean, like, they got Equalizer going. They put Queen Latifah in there like, hey, I got a...
Is it good, though? I love the Equalizer films.
It ain't shite.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch a couple, 3 episodes and be like, okay. Then I switch to Monk. Get that feel.
All right, I think by popular demand, Mike's in there and JJ's in here. I think we need to play our new Christmas classic.
We're gonna play it again.
Yeah, let's play it again.
Y'all just want to see it again.
Yeah, let's just play it again. Let's do it. Don't.
Coal can be pressed into a diamond. You've seen the commercials. They take the heat and the metal and they smash it together. Next thing you know, it's sitting in a store selling for $1,000. That is Christmas. Money. Is there anything else? I'm Charles Cabretti from the East Coast. Well, I feel that Christmas is a Hallmark holiday. Yeah, it's right up there with Valentine's Day and, all those others that force you to buy things. Especially right now in the holidays. Everybody thinks that, oh, Christmas, no.
Do you believe in Santa Claus?
Do I believe in Santa Claus?
No way. How did you? Oh, no.
Remember, you had a chance. You brought this upon yourself. The rumors are true. I see you when you're sleeping. I know when you're awake. So you don't believe in Christmas? Well, you better believe in me. 'Cause I'm coming for you.
You're trying to kill me. I need your help.
There's still no such thing as Christmas spirit. There's still no such thing as Christmas spirit.
When you go to the Oscars or the Goldens,
I don't know that will beat Top Gun Maverick.
Take me with you.
Apparently, nothing
awesome.
can beat Top Gun Maverick. Maybe we should have did it on a volleyball court.
Thank you, JJ. Thank you for coming out and helping. Couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah.
We were a small crew.
We were. I mean, talk about bootstrap. Pulled that off very nicely.
Like, I wanted to get run over by the car. I was like, I'll do it. I said if I was going to get run over by a car, it would have to be done artistically.
Oh, Mike said, just wish some cold drop from Santa's pants after the low blow.
Damn.
Some of it's got to be for the sequel. Some of it's got to be a prequel. This is a trilogy, if you did not know. It is going to be, right now it's the Christmas cliffhanger. We went the George Lucas route and we started in the middle. We'll get a sequel and we'll get a prequel that gets you there. But it's going to take 3 years to get there because we're not Jim Cameron.
You good to call him Jim too?
Sometimes. I don't think he approves, though.
He's like, no, call me sir. God damn it.
Call me Avatar James, please. Titanic Jim.
Yeah, JJ did sign for a 3-picture deal.
Unknowingly.
Yeah, I mean, those Incredibles contracts aren't as ironclad as those MCU contracts, but we will try to hold you to it. And you know, those NDAs, though. Got to watch those NDAs because you can't talk about some of the stuff we talked about that night. It's very similar to Fight Club.
You're talking about it right now.
Yeah, and it's making me a little bit nervous. So, you guys, what do you want to do? So, obviously, that was simulated combat, right? That was great cinematic fighting, if you will. So let's stick with that Cobra theme. Mario, we'll start with you. I had to pick the closest comparison we can get, which was John Rambo. Who would win in a fight between John Rambo and Marion Cobra Cabretti?
That's deep.
Well, let's look at this logically.
Gonna fall out of his chair. He fell out of the chair.
Come on, dude. Warner Brother. Holy moly. I mean, that's Stallone right there, like battling his insides right now. That is him battling his insides.
one is a Vietnam vet with PTSD, right?
And one is a borderline serial killer. Both are good with guns. Both are good with hand grenades. Both are good with knives.
Look, the 80s were a different time. It was okay if your lead was on the poster with a rocket launcher.
Right.
You could do that.
You're fighting the Russians, right? That was acceptable.
You shoot a rocket at the Russians. You don't shoot, whatever gun this is Cobra has here.
So again, the closest comparison we had was the body count, and John Rambo had a bigger body count in Rambo First Blood Part 2, right? And that's when we saw Rambo Unleashed. Cobra, we only got one showing, but he took out 41 people.
Yeah.
In that showing.
My money's on Rambo.
You still go with Rambo?
Yeah, right off the bat, I'm going to have to say Rambo's the favorite. He's tactical. He's probably, Cobra's in good shape because he doesn't eat the back of the pizza, but Rambo's probably in better shape.
Rambo's not skipping leg day or chest day, bro. So he's lifting the house and a 60 cal. He's jiggling upstairs. So.
Guy's a Green Beret, goddamn war hero.
Murdoch. I'm coming for you.
And then hit him with the batteries.
They both ended their movies on some power ballads in a way too, right? It's a long road when you're all alone. I used to just play that.
More. Give us more.
Did you also, when you watched Get to the End of Rambo 2 and he makes that speech and it was like, that was a bit much?
It was.
It's like, that's a little too much. You just shared too much. Rambo, you just killed 70 guys in Vietnam. You're all PTSD, blew up a guy with a rocket launcher. And then he gives this long soliloquy. Just felt out of place to me.
Pretty sure the 69 minutes of all that.
Yeah.
We do need your 10 minutes of, here's why I did it.
Well, Little Master Mike, what's up, Mike? Good point. Cobra never broke down like Rambo, right? So, do we get to win this time? Where Cobra is going to win no matter what. He was, so, I don't know. It's two different mental illnesses that are battling each other in a cage match.
Yeah.
So that makes it really tough.
What was his colonel's name? What was Rambo's?
Troutman.
Troutman.
Yeah.
He's Troutman there. And he was like, come on in, John. It's going to be great. We'll get you a martini.
Cobra was a low-key health nut as well because he was always telling, what was it, Garcia? What was his partner's name?
Yeah, Gonzalez?
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
He was telling Gonzalez to eat prunes and stuff.
While he's cutting his pizza.
Yeah.
Here's how I do it. I read if you do it this way, you chew slower. It burns calories.
That was the special, the 80s message of, you got to kind of send the kids a good message, because there's a lot of cocaine going on. Well, how about you eat prunes?
And they put it in your pizza now, apparently. So, it's Halloween, you get razor blades. Pizza, you get the cocaine.
Which, by the way, that's the new myth, right? Is the candy's actually going to be edibles? So I think kids would be like, open the backfire.
They already got their own ish.
Yeah,
they don't need your stuff at the door. They're like, Mister, I don't want your Hershey's.
What an absurd theory.
Yeah.
Someone's putting drugs and candy and just giving it away.
I don't want your damn dirt weed. Got some good stuff. Smoke dog, daddy. So, Charlie, who do you think? Who do you got your money on? John Rambo or Marion Cobra Cabretti?
I would say that it would probably come down to a standoff. I think they would probably end up going, you know what? You're me, I'm you. Let's just bring it together. Something. I don't know. Maybe they would work it out or...
so you're thinking the Edgar Wright route of Scott Pilgrim versus the World when they fight each other and then they just become friends.
Do we know if Cobra was in Vietnam?
No, we don't. I don't think we know the backstory.
What if Marion Cobretti is a variant of John Rambo?
Oh. Maybe his life upbringing of being called Marion. They'll call me Marion. And then I got to move to Florida or California. And then, the life begins. Or he's witness protection. or I don't know. It's a very...
it's tough, man.
Yeah.
And his the original motion picture soundtrack, the opening track is Voice of America's Sons. I feel like John Rambo would be America's son. He is one of the voice on there. But shout out to Gladys Knight and Bill Medley. Lovin' on Borrowed Time also made that soundtrack.
I just realized, Jeff, can you say something racy real quick?
Like car racy?
Like just something like edgy, like adult humor.
Oh,
like people hooking up kind of humor. I haven't pushed this button yet since I had it.
Button. Who's got the button? Oh, so I've been using that new gimmick on Instagram where you're just supposed to leave like a note. So I've been just using it as an excuse to make movie pitches. So I was like, what if we made the movie Hump Day, but it's a porn that's all with a Freaky Friday twist? Yeah, I was hoping it was going to be that.
I installed that button like 3 weeks ago. I haven't had a chance to use it.
I'm going to go with Cobra.
That is.
Sorry, it took me that long to think about it.
So you're calling the upset.
I'm going to go for Cobra.
You're going for Cobra.
Yeah,
Huh?
and it's a Christmas movie.
So Cobra, it's got to have a happy message at the end.
There it is.
I mean, pound for pound, yeah, I think Rambo would be in the survivalist. I feel like he would all of a sudden be covered in mud and he would catch Marion off guard because I think they would go head to head. They would be battling. They'd be hitting. And in the end, it's going to be one mistake, kind of like football. Nobody wins. It's just somebody else loses.
Would like to see Rambo versus the Double X gang. That would be a crossover.
Yeah.
And then you could send Cobra to Vietnam.
Freaky Friday Sylvester Stallone edition. One Stallone is going to Vietnam.
The other's an LA cop on the zombie squad.
Butterfly effect. What am I doing here?
Hilarity ensues.
I said lay down.
Because, yeah, I don't feel like Marion would delay if there's like, is that a villager or is that a no, boom, like wait, you didn't even have a chance, boom, a shooting, just like he would just start blasting. So yeah, that would be a different take. Phrasing, that would be a different take on that. So I think I think that's 2-1. I think we got Rambo as the winner. So do we do it? The winner of this match.
I think Rambo's the clear winner.
Let's go with the Christmas
well,
spirit.
if it makes you feel any better, Rocky stood no chance because he'd go out there and he'd be like, "Hold on, Marion, if I can change, you can change." Boom, and that would be it.
But they didn't.
They didn't change, did they?
None of them.
No, none of them changed.
Cobra's still Cobra.
All right, Cobra is still Cobra.
What if Cobra is Rambo? Out
that's what I said.
Into the
variant
there to pull him into the like, oh, this was my life, and now y'all leave me alone, and then y'all didn't leave me alone.
If they made a movie with those two, to like a versus movie, I think in the end somebody would be like, well, in the end they're gonna have to team up and take out the real bad guy, and then they realize, why are we fighting each other?
Yeah,
we're brothers. Brothers don't shake. They would have like that Step Brothers thing where then in the end they just team up. So we just become best friends.
So much more room for possibilities.
Rambo and Cobra. What a great that sounds like that'll pop. Stallone should pitch that to Lionsgate or to whoever owns the rights. Rambo and Cobra.
Man, I think with Tulsa Knights, I think you're right. I think he's got so much collateral. No character development, please, from Anthony. But he's got so much cred right now with how well Tulsa Knight's doing. I feel like this is his time to start squeezing some stuff in.
What if they add Marky Mark to the mix and they're like, let him start doing something? You guys aren't seeing the full picture here. I think we really need to ramp this up. You guys need to shoot more people. Also, your workout is insane.
What? No.
Check out these abs.
What? No. Does anyone care about the bees?
I don't think you're listening to me.
I like the idea of a Stallone multiverse because then I want Stallone from Rhinestone that's doing karaoke duets with Dolly Parton somehow to shoehorn in there.
Whoa, that's the one that was like, sweep that under the rug.
I watched that movie 1,000 times and I don't remember a single song. It has the least memorable songs of any musical ever.
There's music in that movie.
It's about him becoming a country singer. He's singing like country songs.
You're right. I don't remember one single song from a song.
Not even the Rhinestone main theme.
I'm going to switch my transition from Rambo to Cobra from Rhinestone to Cobra. He was like, I'll try to leave that lifestyle. You motherfuckers pull me back in.
Yeah, I mean, when I hear the title, I think of the song that had nothing to do with the movie was Rhinestone Cowboy, which John Lovett sang in a movie, which I don't remember that movie. But yeah, I don't remember what their movie was.
He didn't sing it.
He didn't sing anything, did he?
Method Man played the record for him in High School High.
Oh, that's right. He was just lip syncing, and that was it, right? All right, so we want to stick with our Cobra, our go home spot. We're going to jump into, and hopefully this list is not as much of a stretch as that last list we had. We probably should have vetted that. We should have had our editors vetted that. But this is 15 things you never knew about Cobra Commander. Because we probably can get into who would win a fight between Cobra Commander and Cobra. And I think it's hands down, it's Cobra. But Cobra Commander wouldn't die, and then he would shake his fist.
You think Cobra is part of Cobra?
You feel like that's
Would he be part of... He wouldn't be a G.I. Joe.
He wouldn't, right? He would be a rogue G.I. Joe? Well, Sergeant Slaughter was the closest thing they had in G.I. Joe that would be somebody that was kind of rogue.
Yeah.
So, that's a good question.
What if they pulled his mask off and it was like, oh, it's old man Cobra, just like I thought so. No, we never figured it out when you meddling kids.
Oh, man, we forgot about the stopper my mom will shoot.
Hey, look, we're up to 10 viewers, folks.
Right.
We're doing something correct. Way to go.
They're all bots.
Way to go. Thank you. Those are all bots. Yes. Buy boner pills and ball shavers from us.
Yeah, boy. All right, that's in the next segment. We're going to demonstrate.
We need some of that sweet ball deodorant money. All right, so yeah, here's some
Cobra Commander. Tell us about Cobra Commander.
Yes, he's from Comic Book Resources, CBR.com. 15 things you never knew about Cobra Commander. Number 15.
Christmas edition.
Yeah, there it is. There is more than one Cobra Commander. That's right. When we talk about it, we need to clarify who it is. Started off as one guy, but then there's been more than one. I noticed they had different hoods, different masks, but I didn't know they were actually different people. For instance, in the UK, a military series called Battle Action Force featured a terrorist organization called the Red Shadows, led by Baron Ironblood. So I think that's who he was based on. So yeah, apparently there was more than one. He was like Doink the Clown. He was based on William F. Buckley. I don't know if that's interesting or not, but that's who he was.
Who is William F. Buckley?
William F. Buckley was created by Larry. He described him as someone who's in love with the sound of his own voice. Specifically, William F. Buckley was an influential conservative author who started the National Review magazine in 1955 and hosted the debate star show Firing Line.
Like Morgan Freeman. Ever since I was a young boy, I've always enjoyed the sound of my own voice.
Here's one that's completely random. He was a used car salesman. I think, is this a work? Did you gimmick this for me to Google it and find something to see if I'd read it? Most people think his past is a mercy, but some facts have been revealed. A few stories contradict each other, but one has in the comics shortly after Cobra Commander was created in '84. We found the origin of Snake Eyes as a young man who became Cobra's leader. Started out as the evilest of men, a used car salesman. The future Cobra Commander was an ordinary man until he suffered a family death. The death caused him to use his skills of persuasion and manipulation to get revenge and organize an army. Holy shit, I want to see that movie.
Yeah.
That is like falling down on steroids. It's like, I'm trying to sell a car here. Oh, man, sorry what happened to your wife. I'm going to start a militia and take over the world. Yeah. That's a big leap.
Not a bad guy.
That's a big leap.
Interesting.
Are you trying to start hashtag Cobra was right?
I just want to get my story out, guys. Come on, help me.
How do you like the Oldsmobile?
My voice sounds like this because I was punched in the throat by G.I. Joe. I'll get you, Joe. Hashtag
Cobra was right.
You, Joe.
Oh, man. He was unmasked one time. And yeah, he is literally, it looks like he did turn into a snake. He had a ponytail, sunglasses, and a mustache. So Steven Seagal was Cobra Commander. Cobra Commander's brother had the different hood, which was basically that looked like he had the cocktail napkin over his head with the Cobra logo. Apparently that was his brother.
Oh, that wasn't Legs Egg Cobra Commander.
Nope. Tu hermano de Cobra Commander. That's right. Cobra Commander and Snake Eyes were friends. I guess that kind of.
I mean, come on, guys.
Cobra, Snake. That's a little. I'm telling you, this feels worked, but I'm gonna keep rolling with it. We're gonna ride till the wheels fall off on this list.
You boys can't get along.
You don't know Cobra Commander like I do.
Get out of my house.
You don't know Snake Eyes like I do. He doesn't say a lot, but he's real.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Snake Eyes also lost a family member in a car crash by a drunken driver. The driver was the brother of the man who would become Cobra Commander.
Matthew Broderick.
Oh, my God. Oh, this is a family affair. Cobra Commander also had a son. Yeah, I don't think that's a surprise because something tells me that a charismatic leader like that, he's going to be getting some action.
I mean, snakes procreate.
Yes.
Like, you know, they do that thing.
You know why they call me Cobra Commander? Take an unzip here. Pull back the flaps and the cobra will hiss.
Okay. Wow. And then immediately like.
Oh wait, no, I was hoping for that other button.
Pull back the flaps and the cobra will hiss.
Totally Ishtar. Speaking of horror movies.
Ishtar.
Goodness.
Cobra Commander did leave Cobra eventually. I wonder if he lost the rights to his name.
It's like, damn it, I want to start a new army, but they got the good name.
Danny Stallone.
No one's going to listen to this, Commander. How come you get to be Commander? I'm Cobra Commander.
Oh, we have the rights to that name. He did. One of the versions of him did die. Looks like he did take a shot to the noggin. So his son Billy was injured and then put him in a coma. He was in the White House. Got there. Cobra Commander is Yosemite Sam. What?
What?
When you think of Cobra Commander on the 80s animated series, you probably think of a psychotic madman given to commanding large forces and screaming speeches to his minions. That probably reminds you of Adolf Hitler. In fact, the show's writers recently revealed that they thought of him more of Yosemite Sam. It makes sense. Like Yosemite Sam, Cobra Commander talked tough and had a lot of dangerous weapons, but always lost really bad. He had a lot of crazy schemes, like trying to hide shrunken Cobra troopers in Christmas presents and carving his face into the moon with the laser.
We've all been there. You know?
We get it.
Friday
I thought
night.
about it.
It
Saturday.
seems like a good idea at the time.
Saturday.
That was awesome because I didn't realize that's inspired in the animated Tick Chairface Chippendale. Try to carve his name into the moon, and the moon just said CHA forever. And they stuck to that gimmick, so every episode later on, you always saw the moon that said Cha. So good job sticking to the gimmick. I didn't know it was inspired by Cobra Commander.
I'm learning so
He
much
did have
today.
a Back to the Future storyline. Cobra Commander was in the future. Since G.I. Joe and Transformers, both owned by Hasbro, the two worlds have always been connected. In '86, the original Transformers had an episode with a not-so-hidden G.I. Joe connection that involved Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
In Season 3, Only Human, a crime lord named Victor Drath, decided to get rid of the Autobots and turned to a mysterious man named Old Snake.
Yeah.
I ain't found
You remember that episode?
No, I don't remember it, but that's awesome.
Yeah, you knew it was a Transformers Cobra. You knew it was a Transformers G.I. Joe crossover because of the music. Whenever there was like non-diegetic music that they were dancing to, it was always that one song that was on both shows. It's like da 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 da.
I know what you're talking about.
Every time Blaster played, that was the music they played.
Like Selena. Como la flor. And then they're like, it's a crossover, mijo. Yeah,
It's a crossover. Enjoy it. Como la flor. Cobra sings Como la flor.
Oh my God.
Bitty bitty bam bam. Bitty bitty bam bam. You will dance. Cobra says dance.
That's good that they were merging universes back then, but they wouldn't commit fully to the bit. He described of having led a large organization at one point, try to yell Cobra before having a coughing fit.
Right. Yeah, I remember that episode. Cobra.
I get verklempt from all the terrorism.
You guys go and talk about yourself. I get work this out.
All right, what's left?
3 more. He only pretended to be a coward, which I took him more of like a Ric Flair. He'd talk crap, and then he would lose, and then beg off, but then he'd wait and do the old Charles Cabretti right to the jewels.
Gotcha.
So I never took him as that. He looked like a KKK leader. We'll skip that one.
Too easy. Too easy. Too easy.
Oh, the views just spiked
Sir,
on YouTube.
Just because you changed the color of your hood.
Yeah, exactly. And the number 1 Cobra Commander fact: Cobra conquered a city in real life, IRL.
Real elf.
In the comics, the town of Springfield has always been identified with Cobra. In '83, revealed Cobra's origin in the small town where a pyramid scheme trapped the townspeople in the terrorist organization. But it was in 2015 when the town of Springfield hosted the official G.I. Joe Collectors Convention, an awesome and sinister publicity stunt. Cobra Commander cosplayer met with Mayor Michael Houston and presented him with the key to the city and pledged Springfield to Cobra. That's the first victory Cobra has made out in our world, at least as far as we know.
Solid.
Yeah, well done. Solid copy. So that's it.
Give it up for Cobra.
Yeah, that's... Man. I would like to see...
I'm going to get a tattoo. I'm leaving right now. Going to the closest tattoo shop, and I'm gonna get a Cobra tattoo.
The Marion Cobra, right? Marion Cobra Cabretti.
I'm doing it.
I mean, look at that, Mario. Pull that if you can. Pull up that movie poster again. I think the movie poster for Cobra is really what drives home that this. It had a little bit of that late '60s, '70s feel where it kind of looked almost comic-like.
But bro, he's holding an MP5 with a laser with a scope. There's no need for that, sir. If you can't see what you're hitting,
guess what?
You got that laser out there.
He doesn't miss,
and he doesn't care.
Well, how do you know he's not just trying to be a dick and he's trying to blind him first before he shoots him?
I'm gonna maim you.
Boom! It's like, oh, I thought you were just being a dick, but now you shot me.
It's a Cobra. He's gonna toy with this food real quick.
That's it. That's the go home spot for very
sad
Cobra Christmas.
Say Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas to everybody. Everybody.
I state your name. I state your name.
Your license plate. Isn't it back there on the bumper?
It says awesome 50.
So, yeah, I was way off in the year, though. I was like, oh, it's a 52nd DeSoto.
You're in the 50s. You caught it. You caught the right decade, which we're only 30 years away from the 50s, so we're actually closer to 2050 than we are to 1950. Go home on that spot.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yes. So thank you. Yeah, thank you, everyone. And thank you to JJ, AJ, Wayne, Charlie, Mario. We got our Christmas classic trilogy that we're going to have one a year. Maybe next year will be the sequel or prequel. You're going to have to tune in next year to find out. You want the backstory of why JJ flipped this man off instead of telling him to get in the car? You're going to have to wait for the sequel.
Save some of that for the sequel.
So, yeah, we'd like to, from Dose Incredibles, wish everybody out there Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, joyous Kwanzaa. If you're an atheist, have a nice day. Namaste. We'll hit all of them. So, but tune in next week. I think we're going to do a year in review or year-end awards. We haven't decided yet, so you have to tune in this week. So, you guys want to end it on one Cobra chant?
What's the Cobra chant?
I've been saying it. I said it like 4 or 5 times, so we got to end it on that, right?
All right.
Or do you want to end it with "You're the disease, Christmas is the cure"? Nah, let's do the other one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It's the way of the new world!
Way of the new world.
I was lip syncing.
My
Wrong logo. It's okay.